Alright, first thing you're probably wondering to yourself is, it's a weekend wrap, Ben. Why are we on our usual share, in our usual studio, talking to the camera? Well, my dear viewer, based on just stuff on YouTube and algorithm stuff that I can't really talk about, I can't really use full-fledged footage for the videos. As much as I'd love to, I can't really do that anymore. So we're gonna try something different for the weekend wrap this week, and I hope you like it. Again, 5 games, still talking about them all throughout the weekend to get you just ready and wrap up round 14. And I hope you guys really truly enjoy it, or you can just post and complain about the old format being gone on your Instagram or Twitter. You can easily do that, don't worry, but I just want to get my personality out and just talk about the games in a way that I feel is fit, and we'll still analyse stuff all the way, because there was a lot to talk about here. Starting off at the Gabba, the GWS Giants defeat the Brisbane Lions. Now, I'm just going to point out something. GWS, you know that when you're playing a game of Footy, you have that suspect that you just don't know anything about. But you're always keeping an eye on them to see what they're going to do. And they can end up turning up, and they are the bloody culprit at the end of the day. The GWS Giants are that exact team this year in the AFL. They really are. They have lost to Port Adelaide and Sydney, 2 teams that are not going that well, and I personally don't think will play finals, but are the only team to beat who Matthew Lloyd said are the only 3 teams who can win the premiership this year. They beat demoralised Collingwood in opening round, and have beaten Geelong and Brisbane in their home barns, in their venue where they have an almost 80% win rate since 2021. Wild, absolutely wild. They turn it on for the good sides. They really do. And I think another thing that this game shows is that it is just so important to get your overall movement correct and get your overall play style and just take your opportunities in the first quarter. Because Brisbane, it just felt like the ball was living in their half of the ground, and they were just calmly getting all the football that they wanted in the first half of this game. They just could not really convert in it. And overall, the Giants were just able to stay in it enough. We always talk about how teams lose a game of football through inaccuracy. The GWS Giants had about the most accurate half you could think about. They were 8-0. 8-0 in the opening half of this game. Talk about winning a game of football off accuracy, because so many teams lose games of football, and we'll get into it, but they were just able to just nail the shots when they mattered. And another thing I think this proved is Finn Callahan. Finn bloody Callahan. Just how good of a player is he? He might be the Giants' most important player alone. They get Toby Green, Sam Taylor's the best intercept marker in the game. We totally get all that. But Finn Callahan, the run he moves, and just how well organised and ready he was. Against Brisbane and Collingwood in 2 of their biggest wins of the year, he just mopped up the ball, got so much of the ball, and he is just so pivotal to when the GWS Giants play at their best as a football side. He really is. And overall, he just had another brilliant game on the weekend. And another player that I want to talk about and give all flowers to, Jesse Hogan, man. Like, he's become such a demon since coming to the Giants, and he has just continued to take all the name of Tyson in marking contests, and like his accuracy is just insane. Like, he has that little shuffle, like he's on the dance floor, like on a football's dance floor or something, but it just works so well. Like, when you get a routine as a player, you need to stick to it, and Jesse Hogan is another insane reason why you just stick to it as a player. And this was finally the game where I think we saw what Aaron Cadden was truly capable of. Like, he was just taking marks, possession, and was just absolutely just wreaking havoc all across this field. Like, they had like the Cadman signs, like the Batman signs, like the Giants cheer squad at points for this season. He actually played like that in this game. Like, he really did. Like, he was insane. So he was marking the ball, 3 goals, again, highly accurate, and the Lions defenders just had no chance of it. Like, they forced a late comeback, like attempted it, but every time it was a Giants goal kicker who was able to get the winning score and just get momentum back on their side. And actually, again, cost the Lions the game. How do you really generate scores about how poorly the team's going, which is a win? Morrison Fletcher, best of the Lions. Not much to write home about. Let's hope pain recovers quickly. Chain's got that injury. Next week will be the real litmus test. Lions always manage to go up another level against top 4 fancies. If we played bad again, I think they'd win the season in terms of defending the premiership. The Lions were in a way worse position at one point last season. Like, way worse position. Like, they were dead in the water. So, like, I feel like this team, if there's anything that all the rest of the competition should be so afraid of, like, throughout the rest of this season, is that the Lions, they know how to rebound from terrible situations. Like, as they were skating, were on thin ice, might as well dance on it. And that was a point I had all throughout last season with this Lions team. They'll be fine. I'm quietly confident in their ability to rebound, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have a really strong effort against Geelong next week. Another wasted game. Have 14 points on the table last 6 weeks. Just not good enough for our run home. Too many lazy players. Midfield a huge worry. The way we're playing, inability to hold tackle, too many getting ahead of themselves. Not playing discipline-free games. 34-45 in 3 weeks. Not taking consideration the out the full count. Frustrating. Yeah, the Lions have got to fix their accuracy problems. That is one thing they probably do have to really fix in their game. Like, the accuracy is becoming a genuine issue. And obviously, you're not going to win games via it. Like, I don't know where it's come from out of nowhere. Like, obviously, they lost last week off terrible inaccuracy. So, yeah, it's just something they're going to have to fix heading into, like, the next few games. But, like, considering how they played at the end of last season, I'm quite confident in their ability to rebound. But massive win for GIS. Hopefully they can keep it up. Alright, next game. And I feel like I could just recycle what I said last season about this very matchup. Geelong v North Melbourne. Geelong v Essendon. And I could recycle that in 2023 and 2022 because once again, the Cats just mollywopped the Bombers. Like, they proved, like, Essendon are once again not even close to the level that Geelong Football Club are at. They really, really did prove that all throughout this game. And they were just relentless with how they played this. Like, even just looking at overall, like, footage, like, Geelong forwards were, like, so wide open and so many points in this game. It was just scary how their run and carry just came through for the, like, how Essendon were playing. And the scary thing is, if Ollie Dempsey doesn't miss, like, a pretty much wide open shot goal, they win by 100. They win by 100 in this game. That's how dominant it was. It only was, like, really dumb mistakes, like they didn't even matter in the end, that cost them 100 points, but that is beside the point. I've said all season, Geelong are the Terminator Mark II of the AFL. The way they play is just unrelenting. Chris Scott has been playing in such a tight, composed game. Like, they're smarter than pretty much all opposition they play. I just want to keep that point forward. They're smarter than most opposition they play. Okay? And they just, the way they're defensively structured and how they can enter forward 50 at such a fast pace is just such a scary thing for the rest of the competition. But like, beating Essendon, who have a lot of injuries, is like, it was expected, but it was the way they did it that was just so scary, so brutal, and like, it was a warning shot to the rest of the competition. Max Holmes and Bailey Smith, the Dash Brothers, are easily the best duo in the AFL at the moment. The way their midfield generation just keeps coming and how they just storm off midfield possessions, they are easily the best duo in the AFL at the moment. And they, just the run they can get off midfield possessions is so scary. Like, and the scary thing with oppositions is, you can stop one, you can't stop the other. Couple that with Jeremy Cameron likely winning the Coleman this season with just how he's playing, and like just this fleet of small forwards they have, and they have the best coach in the game as well. I don't care what anyone says. Geelong are a massive chance this year if they keep this up, and that is so, and like, that is just so like so annoying for the rest of us, because I'll be fully honest, I won't keep this a secret. I hate Geelong. I do not like this football club. I find them pampered. I find they get way too much stuff handed to them. But I can acknowledge how well they run and how serious of a chance they are to win the premiership this year because of their midfield combination and overall just spice of the football. In Saturday nights, to end the Super Saturday slate, Fremantle defeated North Melbourne. First of all, I just want to point out, just look at how good these Freo jerseys are, man. Like, look how amazing and well centered they are. Like, just, oh my god, talk of just, these are probably the best jerseys they've put out since like the iconic anchor design that I usually wear in my videos. Like, they were that good. And as I mentioned in every fan, like, as a Baltimore Ravens fan, it looked Ravens-like. And by God did they play like the Ravens, in which they just cheated with death pretty much the whole game. Freo have a stat, and like really superstitious Freo fans who have been worried when they lost the first quarter. When they lost the first quarter of this game to North Melbourne, like, that would have just put alarm bells in the air, just everywhere and overall, because they don't normally win games via that. But I think it was a second quarter blitz that also was able to end this game and win it for Fremantle. Dude, Patrick Voss, in the way he's been playing as a small forward, has just been amazing and just so well calculated. He kicked 2 in a minute, and like, he's become one of the best like celebrators in the game. Like, he knows how to celebrate a goal. He was in the stands cheering and celebrating the moment that second goal went in, and that was just so good to see in every single way. And overall, like, it just felt like up that North Melbourne were just playing catch up the whole way through and just had to try and get their own back and just get back into this game. But they got a little bit of momentum late at the end of the third quarter when Luke Parker puts a bomb through at the end of the third quarter, and we are at a 20+ point ball game. Doable in today's AFL. Really doable in today's AFL. And overall, like the fourth quarter, it just felt like Freo were just they cheated with death the whole fourth quarter. The way they were just handing the ball was just very worrying, very suplex, and North Melbourne just were taking all opportunities and just felt like they were kicking all the crucial goals that mattered. Their leaders were stepping up. Cam Zerha was such a problem, and ultimately, like, it really came down to what next goal was going to win, and whoever could step up and become the hero would win this game.
Round, Amos after it, got it clear, Jackson, it's Luke Jackson! Cox knocked it down.
Yeah, Luke Jackson is made for moments like this. Like, he did it a few times at Melbourne, but like, he can win games off his own boot and just be a game winner when he needs to, and by God did the Dockers need that. Like, very interestingly, I found like at the end of the game, like they just, after seeing the song, which wasn't that enthusiastic, mind you, they just kind of walked into the rooms and just relaxed and just had a good like meeting for a good like 1 to 2 minutes. I think sit down there like we got away with one there. Like we played that fourth quarter terribly, but we'll move on because we have a spot in the A currently and we're just still very much in it, which is probably a good strategy to keep at if you are North Melbourne. You are for it, if I'm going to be real. Like, Justin Longberg just looked relieved after that game, because you can understand all the pressure was going to be back on him after this. Much like a certain Melbourne coach now, the pressure's back on. So, yeah, this gig just says it all, like, just heart attack material. That game was just heart attack material for every Dockers man. We were extremely lucky to leave a win against the 16th place handball teams. We can sit here and blame the umpires for goals, but let's be honest, we nearly fucked that ourselves. That should have been a comfortable win. Probably should have been. Yeah, actually definitely should have been. But it's like, to get into the finals, you need to win games like that, and that's just what they're able to do, just thank God they didn't lose in those jerseys, let's just say. To begin our Sunday slate, the Adelaide Power defeat the Melbourne Demons in a game that almost 100% finished off Melbourne. Very faint final chances. And our boy, Kenny, lives again! He lives again! Overall, the story of this game is Mitch Georgiades. Like, I actually know, like, a few people, like someone I know, like, Cam, he like, Mitch Georgiades from his school. He comes to WA. I can't watch him. And, like, he's always said how talented of a player he is. The scary thing about this Georgiades performance in this game is that if he gets accurate, he will kick 11 goals. He would kick 11 goals had he kicked accurately, but he kicked 7 goals for the game. It was ultimately the game winner for Port Adelaide. It's being up, mate. be able to just kick and be able to just kick the goals that we need for our in this game and keep their main finals over the line as well. But another thing that was really funny about this game is that I feel like Melbourne for a while have had a penchant for giving up late quarter goals late in quarters and just so brutal for half time and so costly. Well, Melbourne just said, what if we give up a goal after siren for the first 3 quarters of the game? What if we do that and just absolutely brutalize, just sap them and just every time you just go back to the coach box, just see so losing this shit over what was happening. So yeah, that was fun to go see. But Cosy coming off the 9-year deal, 9-year deal to stay at the club, he's electric. Well, we had 2 touches for the second half. When camera angle, where were we? Oh yeah, when Melbourne played at their best this season, Cosy, 2 touches, second half, it's just always going to be so brutal and terrible. And once again, it just was, but they didn't put on the cover from it. And another star that I'm extremely interested is that just Melbourne's midfield. Like all their stuff, like Jack Whiting has not had a good year, and also like Oliver and Striker. They just butcher the ball and turn over the ball so many times over. With David King professional butchers on Monday. So yeah, that is just ungodly brutal. Like imagine being an AFL player and you walk up and you hear that on your Monday morning. Like that is just ungodly brutal. But overall, like all of it, let's say, Glenelg like only have like an ability to win when Kenny is in danger. And they're right, but this game I think was more like they took advantage of Melbourne's weaknesses. Lack of forward half game, lack of forward line, like a lack of pressure sometimes on key forwards, and ran away with it. So they have 2 wins in a row now, and it sets up an interesting clash against Sydney, where the winner of this game is probably almost definitely out of finals contention. In a game that was a matchup of a preliminary final last season. So that's something. Probably a last quick recap of the last game, considering like it's West Coast, and sorry if that is a bit offensive, but I think even Eagles fans would probably agree with the general doom and gloom of that team right now. Like they're 18th, like I think their percentage is like one of the worst ever in the Eagles' history. They've only won 1 game against a Saints side that has slipped off harder than Ninja Warrior after 2017. And overall, Carlton are just the masters of fast starters. They are just so good at starting off the gates fast. I don't know what it is about them, but they just can't keep it up for a full game. This is probably why they're not seen as a genuine premiership threat yet, and their fans would agree with me on this. Because they can't finish out games and can't roll code out games, and even in a win against West Coast, it ultimately shows. And overall, they did have injuries throughout this game. Charlie Curnow going out is just brutal for them, and prayers up for them. Really prayers up. But again, they started off well. They were getting goals throughout most places, and they were just taking advantage of just a horrific Eagles defense. Just horrific. Also, they were just being able to do what it was. But Andrew McCall just said at quarter time a good summary of that game. That they were playing insane, they were playing terrible. And I think he revved them up to a point where it basically became the second half, don't get demoralised. It's like, because you were getting demoralised down there. Like, just go out, play, and don't get demoralised. And that is what ended up happening. They were able to get just enough points on the board, but ultimately Carlton, because of their good first quarter, were able to win. And that's probably a game where they're just happily taking it and probably moving on. Because they probably didn't look the best out there. They were able to get a win, mainly off the back of a strong first quarter. And now tougher tests will overall come throughout the next week. But there is also a little conversation of the Eagles deserving a priority pick or ever. The way they're playing at the moment, more of that will come throughout the season. That will be another topic. So yeah, that's round 14 of the Ford Footy Show. Who we named the stand weekend wrap. Hope you guys enjoyed and get ready for a lot more chaos in the second half and get ready for a bonkers round 15. And as they say, a week